it's been a while. I haven't filmed in like a week. I didn't plan to take the week off, but I did get ill and then I just got busy. My son is home and I just didn't end up getting a chance to film at all. But we are finally going to go through all of the palettes that I went into in March. And I will also be doing this in total uses. So I have a bunch of palettes where I only went into it one time, and then I have some palettes I went into it twice, 3 times, 4 times, and then so on. I did end up going into 20 different eyeshadow palettes in the month of March, which is about my average. I usually go into about that much, which sounds like a ridiculous amount. But some of them I only went into once, and that just means one day. I could have gone into multiple shades or just the one shade. It doesn't really matter. It's just kind of silly this, but I do like to do this video. It's kind of fun to do a little bit of a recap, and then I also will show any looks that I was able to do with the palette if I can find them, if I captured them, which I am trying to be a little bit better. There are like videos with the looks as well, or just like, you know, you can actually see it in real person, because I feel like you don't always see the eyeshadow in its entirety when it's just a photo. So anyway, that's what we're doing today. So stay tuned. Let's get started. Okay, it's super hot. We're having like a little bit of a heat wave too. So I haven't actually gone outside in the sun at all because I have been sick, and I just don't think it's good to mess with my body temperature that much and be in the sun when I'm, you know, getting all hot, cold. So it's probably been the worst week to get sick in that respect, with my son home and everything. But you know what? We just gotta like keep going. I'm feeling a bit better. And so yeah, let's get started. The first palette that I'll talk about is Aurora Struck from Colourpop. This is my version of it. This is not the original one. I do have a bunch of original shades in here in their place, but I did swap out a lot of the shades with other Colourpop shades from different palettes. And yeah, this is my version of it. I really love this palette. I have been recently slowly getting my spreadsheet back up to date, and I actually finally added this in and sorted it out and had to like look at the back of all these to see where they're actually from. So slowly but surely my spreadsheet is getting updated, and it will finally get back to not obviously where it was because I lost a lot of data, but we're trying to get there. And yeah, what did I even go into? I think I pulled this for the Shop My Stash video. I think I did a get ready. I don't know. I think I only went to a couple shades. This is definitely a palette though this is one of my spring focus palettes though. So what I'm going to do, I've realized with the 3 that I chose for spring, obviously we're like heavy into spring now. I want to do like a dedicated video to use all 3 of them. So I'm going to do like one of my makeup diary videos, but it's going to include all 3 of the spring palettes that I chose for this season. Obviously this is one of them, so you will eventually like get to see looks that I do with them. I just need to start doing that. I also need to figure out my camera because I'm like running out of space, so I need to delete a bunch of stuff. There's a whole lot of admin that I need to do in the background, and I just need to do it, so I need to get on with it. Another one that I used one time is Dancing in the Sky from Gloss Gods. And did you see their new blush? I'm actually very intrigued. I kind of want to try them, but then I also don't really want to try them because I'm not buying anything at the moment. That's another thing that I need to film, which will be coming very soon. I was going to do like a recap of the first quarter of the year, like how I did with my low buy and everything. There's just a lot to catch up. I was going to film all this last week, and I feel bad I didn't film any of it. But anyway, this is what this palette looks like. You probably don't care what me yappering on, but very beautiful palette. So this was rolled into my Pan Those eyeshadows, and I was able to hit pan in this after one use. I mean, there was hardly any sort of, it was a big dip, so it wasn't hard to do. So I did end up going into that just the once. I also went into my Dark Dreamscape palette from Belle Beauty Bar the one time. I went into, I think I went into one of the pinks. I think I went, from memory, I think I went into this one, but I might be completely off and wrong. But I did go into this just the once, and this was for a look that I was doing, I think for my channel members. You know, I used to have a really good memory of like all the looks that I've done, but like it's just not something I store in my brain anymore. It's just not. All right, I also went into the P. Louise Blend Away palette. This is another spring palette for me, so one of the palettes that I wanted to focus on this spring because I just simply have not gone into it at all. I did end up going into it once though this month, just to sort of test my way into it. But the more I think about it, the more I definitely want to go into this palette. I just think that I do actually like the formula and the quality, and I think it's such a shame that I don't end up going into this. I think I went into one of the pinks in this one. So I think I tried Dark Dreamscape, and then I also went into this one, and I think I went into either Better Me. I think it was Better Me. And I was doing like a makeup look, so you know how it is. I'm just trying to find, I don't have that many pinks in my collection, I've noticed, because I did end up getting rid of my Beauty Bay Berries palette, which in hindsight I probably should have kept because it had the shades that I always feel like I'm missing, but I just felt like I never went into it. So I don't know, it doesn't really matter. I also went into my Glaminatrix Nearly Natural palette just the one time. This was Shop My Stash. I think this was pulled from my Shop My Stash. Still want to go into a little bit more. What did I even end up going into in this palette? I have no idea. Maybe I went to a different shade actually. But yeah, went into it once and it's fine. It's a nice, it's a beautiful palette. I think I'm always just going to be slightly disappointed in it because my expectations of this, it was just so high. I think I'm always just going to be slightly like bummed out by it. But anyway, I went into DD Signature Broken Jewels one time too. I know I had plans to do 3 looks 1 palette with this. I still haven't even like got around to even starting to think about filming that, but I really want to. It's kind of more, as I look at it, more of a winter palette, so I don't know if it's really something I want to use for spring, especially since I have plans of other palettes that I want to be using over the next few months. But maybe I can squeeze it in. It's such a beautiful palette. I would not want to wait until winter to use it again. I really, really enjoy that one. I also went into my What's Up Beauty Dragon's Eye palette once. So this one is my No Pan Left Behind, and I'm really not going into it, but I need to. And I think I'm just falling behind. I think I'm doing too much, or I have too many plans, and I think I have like 3 heads. And so I could do like 3 makeup looks a day, and it's just not happening. And I also don't wear makeup every day. You know, it's just not something that I think about every single day. So I have all the plans in the world to do what I want to do, and then I don't end up doing them. But yeah, this one I need to go into all the shades. So I did use it once. I went into a few shades, but obviously, you know, you have to wait for that update whenever that update is coming. And then I went into my Blueberry Muffin from BH. This one I had in a project. So I hit pan in Sugared pretty early on in the month, and then I did not go into this palette again. This was in my Pan in Every palette. And then I also went into my Earthy from Beauty Bay one time. I feel like I go into this every single month. But this one is for a reason. I do have the shade still left in my Pan Those Eyeshadows, which is called Lime. And so I do need to still use this palette and try to hit pan in that. Okay, let's move on to the palettes where I used them twice. I went into my Serenity from Cosmic Beauty 2 times this last month. This is in a project at the moment. I'm working on trying to hit pan in Oasis, which honestly I think I'm going to be able to do because I've already made a pretty nice dip in it. I feel like Cosmic Beauty though is pretty easy to hit pan on. This is definitely a palette that I really enjoy, but I'm not going to lie, I have had some issues with their formula and the staying power in my house. So I'm getting worried that I won't be able to keep this palette too much longer, simply because I've had to scrape off a lot from these shades because they're making me worried. Like, I'm getting worried that the formula, whatever formula they use, just does not last in humidity. So I'm just going to be frank with you. I love this palette, but it is a worry of mine. Nothing wrong with this shade though. There's some shades that look fine, but then you can see like all the shades that I've been scraping. I'm like absolutely so paranoid. I like scrape the first layer off because I'm getting really worried that they're going bad. So anyway, just wanted to put a heads up out there that that's what's going on with that palette, which is so sad because it's honestly one of my favorite Cosmic Beauty palettes that I own. And so if I had to suddenly say goodbye to this, it would be very, very sad. I have noticed, it's not all of them, but I have noticed it's been UK brands that have not lasted for me, aside from Nomad Cosmetics, where that one completely did not last for me at all, and I had to get rid of all of my Nomad Cosmetics. most of the other palettes that I have, either from the US or elsewhere, last, but Beauty Bay does not last for me, and now Cosmic Beauty seems to be an issue, they're obviously both UK brands. So I don't know if it's like, I think it's an ingredient thing. It must be, because I know in the US you're able to use different types of ingredients. So I don't know, that's just something that I have in the back of my brain, which is honestly such a shame. I also think it's certain colors that go bad for me, which is really weird. So maybe there's something that you put in different pigments and it's like I don't know. You guys tell me. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but there's certain brands that are fine, and I've had them for years, like ABH, ColourPop. I've never had any issues, but obviously I feel like there's lots of stuff in them that make them last forever, like Huda Beauty. I've just, in terms of like mold and things like that, that's what I'm talking about. Like with the humidity, they seem to last for me, whereas obviously, you know, indie brands, maybe they have, I don't know, they just, something's going on. Anyway, here is another Beauty Bay palette that I'm worried about. This is the Midnight palette, and I did end up going into this one 2 times. I went into C just the other day. What was the other time? I don't actually know why I went to it the other time. I think it was for a purple. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was for a purple, but I don't remember which one. But yeah, I'm so happy I kept this palette, because honestly, anytime I'm trying to do like a makeup look, I do like these different like makeup challenges sometimes. I feel like just having like that type of palette where it has all of the purples and blues, for me, where I don't really have that many palettes that have like deep purples and blues. Oh, my son, he's not happy. It's just nice to have it all in one go, you know? Anyway, so I went into that 2 times in March. Okay, moving on. I have 3 palettes that I went into 3 times. I've got the Lovers from Cosmic Beauty. This one seems fine. I have no issues with the formula of this one. The Serenity is the oldest Cosmic Beauty that I have. So it's obviously like the older the palette gets, the worse it starts to look, which is a shame. But yeah, this one, I went into it 3 times. Why did I go into this one 3 times? I think, oh my gosh, I have no idea. Why did I go into the Lovers 3 times? Oh, I know why. Because obviously it was my No Pan Left Behind, so I was trying to use every single shade once. I am just such a klutz. Okay, so yeah, this one, I went into it 3 times to finish that project, and I did finish that project, so that one was good. I went into my Molten Metals from Gloss Gods 3 times as well. This one is in my Pan and Every palette, and I am working on this shade right here. It's what I have in my inner corner, and it's going to take me a very long time, but I'm still using it. And yeah, I used it 3 times in March. Hopefully I use it more this month, because I really want to get a move on and actually roll it out, because I think in my video I said it's been in the project for 3 months, but it's actually been in longer than that. So yeah, gotta get a move on. And then I went into my What's It Beauty Desert Monsoon 3 times as well. This is also in a project. This one is also in my Pan and Every palette. And I don't know which one I want to pan, but I did go into it 3 times in March, and it's still in that project, so I need to figure that out. All right, moving on, we have 4 palettes where I use them 4 times. I've got the Gloss Gods Color of Rain. This is one of my project level ups. Actually, it's the only project level up I'm working on right now, and it's my level 5. So I need to hit 5 pans and use every shade 5 times. I don't think it looks any different from the last time when I spoke about it in my update video. So I have 3 pans in here. I need 2 more pans, and then I need to use a bunch of shades a bunch of times. I actually have drizzling on my eyes today. It is this gorgeous shade right here, and I ended up putting, yeah, a rain cloud over here too. So I have kind of like a mix today, but I did use 2 shades today, but we're not talking about April. Okay, moving on, we have ABH Nouveau palette. This one I went into 4 times. I'm working on this shade right here, and I have a really nice dip. I actually have it on today, and it is my priority probably this week to hit pan in this, because once I hit pan, I can like focus on some other things. This one's also been in a project for a really long time. It's my pan those eyeshadows, and I just want to make a move on and stop coming on every video and saying, well, I have hardly used it, I need to use it more. I want to use it. So yeah, this one I used 4 times in March. And then I also ended up using this palette 4 times in March too. So this is from Glamshop, and this is a nice little 9-pan palette. And I just wanted to like see how versatile it was. So I ended up using it quite a bit, and I ended up doing some pretty looks. Okay, moving on, we have this one from Menagerie Cosmetics. This is the Feral palette, and this is also in a project. This is in my Pan in Every palette, and I'm working on this shade. And this is another one where I really just want to make a move on. I think I'm really close to hitting pan because there's just so much kick up. I think I'm going to be able to do it pretty soon. So this one and the Nouveau are my 2 priority shades that I want to work on over the next week or 2. All right, then I have one palette where I use 6 times. It is my Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. This is my Pan palette in order. I would show you the inside, but there is a spoiler, so I'm not going to do that. But you kind of all know what this looks like, right? You know what it looks like. You just have to wait for that update. I'm afraid I'm not going to share that with you, although obviously that in itself is a spoiler. But just like pretend that you didn't hear me and just wait. Just wait, okay? But I did end up going into that 6 times, and obviously there will be some evidence of me using it. Okay, next up, I've got my Flower Moon. I'll show you this one. There's no spoiler in this one. This is obviously Ensley Rain, and this is my Pan palette for the year. So obviously my Pan palette in order and my Pan palette for the year are the ones that I use the most. This one I ended up using how many times? 9 times, which is actually a little bit more than February. So I'm proud of myself. It's still not as high as I would want it to be. I kind of want to end up using my Pan palette a little bit more than that. But I did end up using it 9 times in March, and hopefully I can use it about that or a little bit more in April, although April is slightly shorter. I always feel like it's slightly shorter, but it's really just 1 day shorter. I just always feel like, oh, it's so much shorter than March. It's just that 1 day makes a difference. Anyway, so yeah, I use this a bunch, and I'm still using it, obviously. And yeah, this will just stick around all year long, unfortunately. But I am able to do some pretty looks with it, and it has some gorgeous shades. I think at the moment, before my next update, I think I actually will hit pan on this one. It's not a shade that I said I would hit pan on next. Or maybe is there a spoiler? No, I think I spoke about this Dahlia because I hit pan in that. I think I spoke, oh, maybe I didn't. Maybe that is a spoiler. Maybe there is a spoiler. Oops. Anyway, I don't even know. So yeah, I went into this one 9 times this last month. Okay, that is my little video about all the palettes that I went into in March with some photo or video evidence. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'm sorry that I have not been very active here on YouTube. I do have all the plans in the world to be more active, but I was taken out this week. I just could not get in front of the camera. So I'm hoping to try to get back this next week and just catch up a little bit. I do want to do a disclaimer though. In a couple weeks time, my parents will be joining me and obviously visiting us. So I don't know how, there might be like another week where I don't post too much, but I know you guys don't care. So you're here when I'm here, and you'll be supportive when you can be, and everybody has different lives, and we're all busy, so it's fine. But yeah, hopefully everyone had a good Easter, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye!